It seems like yesterday when Kevin Samuels passed away, but in all actuality, it's been almost 3 years since the great legend Kevin Samuels passed away. And still, it doesn't feel like it's actually true. And of course, from time to time, we see mentions of his name, usually in good spirits and in good taste. But of course, there are people who are still jealous of Kevin Samuels and want to go around and spread lies. One of those people is Donovan Sharp. Another one of those people is Fresh and Fit. And really, it's only Myron of Fresh and Fit that still has some issue with Kevin Samuels. You see, Myron hated Kevin Samuels when he was living, going behind his back, talking about his sexuality, calling him the F-bomb. And for those of you who don't know, that was really a big part of the Abba and Preach beef. Kevin Samuels would also be insulted behind the scenes, just like Abba and Preach did after doing the collaboration. And that's what turned Kevin Samuels and Abba and Preach against Fresh and Fit. But then there's this whole situation that Myron has gone viral about, talking about Kevin Samuels.
And I really dislike to even say this, but the truth is the truth, and I kind of had to say it. The reason why the Black Manosphere died, right, is simply because Kevin Samuels didn't put his people on. Just going to be honest about it. He became famous. He blew up. He didn't, extend the ladder back and put his guys on, and it died. That's just what happened. Once he got into the mainstream, he didn't bring anybody up with him. And that's the cold hard truth. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. And, for us, we adopted a little bit of different mindset where we're going to blow up and we're going to bring everybody up that came alongside us. And I've seen, everyone go off on their own and, build really successful independent channels. Everyone here is well over 100,000, where, before that was unheard of in the manosphere, right? So I think from this point forward, right, sticking together and doing periodic podcasts like this where guys are able to comment on culture, current events, etc., because things are changing rapidly.
Stop the cap.
But wait, there's more.
Every year, something new is going on, right? 2020, it was a TikTok boom. 2021, it was a pandemic and dealing with that. 2022, Trump is going to run again. Every year, there's a new thing going on. And the thing is with the red pill, it's not just women. It's the truth in general, right? You can apply it to so many different endeavors. So that's what I noticed was, the one thing on the Kevin Samuels legacy that I wish he did was put on his people. And he simply didn't. He simply did it. It's just the truth, and it sucks. Maybe he didn't have enough time. Maybe that was the plan before he passed away. I know that he had something going on, but what I will say is when he did those Nicki Minaj collabs, when he did those big events, there was no shout out to anybody from the sphere. And it kills me because a guy like Donovan Sharp platformed him 80 times, and he never shouted him out. And I always was like, what the hell, right? And I was like, we're not going to do that. So I think, we absolutely need to stand united and do periodic shows like this.
Let me address this whole idea that when Kevin Samuels got on, he didn't put enough people on. That's crazy, because you know who Kevin Samuels put on the most? Drum roll, please! Fresh and Fit themselves.
Huh? Oh my God!
I've done video about this. And even this guy Marlon, who comments below on Twitter, he says, didn't Kevin bring up Fresh and Fit? Yes, he did. You see, when Fresh and Fit were a struggling podcast and couldn't get any views, want to know who flew out to Miami with their own money? It was Kevin Samuels. And you want to know what Fresh and Fit did? They wanted to compete with Kevin Samuels with his same time slot. You see, Kevin Samuels made Fresh and Fit a lot of money. And to be honest, Kevin Samuels made O'Shea Duke Jackson a lot of money. And my growth that I had during the time that he was living, I wouldn't have been as nearly as good if Kevin Samuels wouldn't have been shouting me out at that time. A lot of the people who know about me now know about me because Kevin Samuels. Now stop the show. That's not saying that I'm not a legendary creator, because as you can see with these views, I got over 300 million. So we're going to just keep it real. Can I get an ooh sound effect? But I was able to do things for my family because of Kevin Samuels. I will never deny that. And if Kevin Samuels had that impact on me, and to be honest, we never collaborated on his channel because we never needed to. That man never needed to do that because he did enough for me already. But if he collaborated with you, you were going to do well. Just ask Fresh and Fit. And the second point I want to bring up, the Black Manosphere fell off because Kevin Samuels didn't put their people on. I'm going to also call cap on that, because the people who put folks into the Black Manosphere was not necessarily Kevin Samuels. It was me. And if anything, Kevin Samuels brought more notoriety and fame to the Black Manosphere than anybody ever did. He did the most for it. How did the Black Manosphere respond? Well, they hated on him. And it's interesting because there was a guy that's actually on the stream with Myron, who I won't name, that had a lot to say about Kevin Samuels when Kevin was living. And as soon as Kevin Samuels died, that guy was singing Kevin Samuels' praises. I'll let you figure it out. A whole bunch of guys turned on Kevin Samuels. A bunch of them, all right? A lot of them. If you really want to be honest about it, a lot of them turned on Kevin. And then once Kevin died, then all of a sudden, they're going to act like we didn't know. See, a lot of people were jealous of Kevin Samuels' success in the Black Manosphere. We're going to be honest, okay? A lot of people. Let me give you an example. There was a time where Kevin Samuels, mediocre tutorials and reviews, and the lead attorney, and Dennis Sperling all met up in New York City. There was a guy in the Black Manosphere, very popular guy, I don't want to bring up his name, was upset because Kevin Samuels didn't invite him. And again, this is another guy that Kevin Samuels shouted out, and he got a whole bunch of book sales. He made a lot of money on Amazon. He didn't give Kevin Samuels any money, but he was upset because he wasn't there. Kevin didn't owe the Black Manosphere anything. Yeah, it was the community that he came up in, but he didn't owe the Black Manosphere anything. He did enough for it when he was living. But in Black Manosphere fashion, at the time, many of the content creators dropped the ball. It wasn't his fault. A lot of guys who were cool with Kevin Samuels when he was not doing well and was struggling, oh, they got upset when Kevin got to fame. Oh, because Kevin, quote unquote, stole my ideas, or Kevin Samuels stole my talking points. Now, I'll be honest, there was a time that Kevin Samuels took some verbiage from Tommy Sotomayor, and I believe from other creators, and kind of mixed it around and, didn't give a person a shout out for doing what they were doing. But that was few and far in between. Now, should he have done something like that? Of course. But hey, if they were not cool at the time because you insulted him, he wouldn't do that. You want to know the reason why the Black Manosphere fell apart? It had nothing to do with Kevin Samuels. Kevin put everybody on notice. All of the people that Kevin used to shout out all the time were getting subscribers and were getting new people. Want to know who destroyed the Black Manosphere? Black men destroyed the Black Manosphere. Because you want to know why? We couldn't get along. That's the God's honest truth. Rewind! There was a time in like 2016 where Crystal and Karazin tried to get everybody in the Black Manosphere shut down. Kevin wasn't one of those creators, but I was one of them. Other guys were one of them. There was this infamous hit list. And of course, it didn't work. A few people lost their channels, but they were able to come back. I almost lost my channel and was able to come back. I didn't lose it, but I almost did. And I just want to say, once we were able to get over the Chris and Karazin thing, we started fighting each other. I'm not gonna lie, I started fighting with people. I had a really big beef with people. Want to be real, it's true. I definitely didn't do the best things that I could do. I made some mistakes myself. So we dropped the ball. And eventually, I left the Black Manosphere for the same reasons that Kevin Samuels did, because it stopped being about what we wanted it to be about. I worked with a lot of creators in the Black Manosphere, and I'm not perfect. But again, it became for like begging for super chats. It became like begging for cash apps. It just wasn't as much about black men as it was before, and it wasn't really productive. And there was just a whole bunch of guys fighting. And I left it. And then once I left it for the very same reasons that he left it, I left it a little bit later. Hey, the Black Manosphere guys died on their own. Well, died on its own. Some guys got deplatformed and never came back. And, we all had different motives. The one thing that the Black Manosphere just had in common was just calling out black female issues and problems with black women, but there was really no plan about working with black men or working with black people. And that was just something that Kevin wanted to do. It was something that we wanted to do. We didn't hate our people. I mean, we used to roast the women and things like that, but the Black Manosphere failed because of black men. We ruined the Black Manosphere as a group. Black men ruined it. Kevin Samuels put everybody on when he got successful. When Kevin Samuels got successful, everybody looked for the Black Manosphere guys. Even the women became Black Manosphere creators. You know what I mean? Everybody knew us at that time. So how did he not put us on? He put everybody on. Everybody got more attention because of Kevin Samuels, and that attention that the Black Manosphere got at the time would have never gotten it if Kevin didn't go viral. And we just didn't do enough with it. Now, some guys like myself, I benefited, true, but Myron doesn't know what he's talking about. Myron wants to act like he is doing the right thing. He put people on, but he's the same person when you put Myron on, he calls you the F-bomb the F word that rhymes with maggot behind your back. He throws people under the bus. Just ask all the YouTube creators that don't deal with them anymore. Oh, well, I put on these people and Donovan put on. How can you insult somebody and lie on somebody when they pass away? Because you're a fraud, that's why. And that's why nobody likes you anyway. The thing is, Myron still hates Kevin Samuels. To this day, the only reason why he can't go out on Kevin Samuels like he would the other people is because he would get too much backlash. But he wants to call Kevin Samuels all kinds of names. He hates Kevin Samuels. And he wants to say that the reason why Kevin Samuels didn't like him is because Abba and Preach. No, Kevin Samuels didn't like you because you were a B. Yeah! So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.